Well, our next speaker could certainly tell us what is going on. That's Ruth Miller from the Fire Coalition.
Thanks, Frank. How's everybody doing today? It's great to see you guys all out here from Freeland, PA. I'm from Philadelphia area. I am just a regular person who joined this fight, and I really don't have a lot of public speaking experience, so this is all new to me, but I'm very passionate about this fight. It's not the only problem that's facing our nation. There's certainly a lot of problems facing our nation. Illegal immigration is just one of them, but it's very, very pervasive, and it's making all of our towns look like border towns, you know, hundreds of miles from the border. Why is that? And that is why I'm here, because my town started to look like Mexico. We have a historic district in my town in Norristown, and it looks more like historic Mexico. They all stick together. There's about 50 or 60 Mexican markets and things like that. It's just what's happening to my town, so that's why I'm here. I also got mad when in my suburban neighborhood a house was bought that is a group home. And this woman over here brought that up, and it's a big problem. They buy a house, it was bought by the father, and there are 3 daughters. They each have children in our schools. None of them can speak English. And it's trashy out front. There's 2 playpens out front. It's like, what's going on here? I started to inquire, and I'm pretty sure they're illegal. I don't know if they're illegal, but what kind of people in the neighborhood do you know who leave trucks out front, you know, that they pile trash into? When they come home from work. They have commercial vehicles there with no names on them, you know, and they also leave newspapers. I don't know why they even get the newspapers, but they're piled up at the end of the driveway, and it looks like crap. So that's one of the reasons I'm here. Another thing I'm surprised that nobody brought up today was Elvira Arellano. She was just deported. Are we all familiar with her story? Okay, that's another victory, I think, for us, that we finally got her ass out of this country. A year, 1 year, she hid out. She's a felon. And I have here some examples of some of the things she's guilty of. Not only is she guilty of coming back to this country for a second time, which is a punishable offense. It's not just, you know, we put you back across the border again. Once you come here a second time, that's a much more serious offense. Also, she was working at the airport, Chicago O'Hare Airport, with fake identity. So she stole someone's identity. But what is she's not being punished. She's in Mexico right now. She's got a free trip home, basically. Why is she not being punished for these crimes? And that's what you need to call. You need to call your representatives and say, this woman is a felon and is punishable by many years. I have examples here, which I'm not going to read all of them, all of the subsections in the U.S. Code, but I found everything before this rally, and it exists. And she's facing 10 to 20 years in prison. But no, she's in Mexico, and not only is she in Mexico, she's arrogant about criticizing us. She said it's our fault why she ended up in the country, because we don't enforce our laws. And you know what? She's right. But here she is, she's in Mexico, and she's criticizing us for her having come to this country. And another thing about her is that she's saying that we separated her from her son, which is a bunch of crap. Yes, she had every right to take that son with her, but she didn't want to. You know, she wants to leave him here because she knows he'll have a better life. That's not our decision. That was her decision to leave her son here to be raised by 2 communists who also are guilty of aiding and abetting an illegal alien and a felon. And why are they getting a free ticket also? So I'm sick and tired of illegal aliens getting one set of laws, and meanwhile we'll have American citizens who are facing time for identity theft, and here she's getting off free. And we have other people being punished, they're American citizens, but illegal aliens apparently don't get punished. You know, what's up with that? So in conclusion, I just want to keep this brief, it's up to us now that we've defeated amnesty, we've gotten Elvira deported, we have to fight at every level. Every little town like this, Hazleton, we have to get behind Hazleton, and all the states and all the cities, it's up to us, because the federal government has proven that they don't know what to do. They are totally clueless, and we cannot rely on them. In fact, in our history, if you look back, we did not rely on the federal government in our history. We were state sovereign. this country. We were founded that way, and we have gotten away from that. We've gotten away and relied way too much on the federal government. So it's time to go back to the Boston Tea Party and say, we're taking our country back from you, the federal government. We know what to do, you don't. So get behind all of the local cities and Hazleton and all the local fights and push your local small town representatives to get 287G training. I mean, what's wrong with that? How can anybody fight that? It's just training to make them more effective. Why would anybody be against such a thing? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So that's a very, very important thing for us to get spread around the entire country. So anyway, thanks for coming out here today. I really appreciate your taking the time, and I appreciate being invited to speak, even though I'm not much of a public speaker. Thank you very much, Voice of the People, and make sure you hear Harrisburg next week. It's going to be a big deal. Lots of really good speakers, and it's worth taking the trip, and I appreciate their efforts very much. God bless America.